All right, so Savanna is going to just tell you a little bit about the two devices that Aerolase has and how well they work in her practice and how much they've changed her practice.
Yeah, it really has. So for me, I live in Texas and I do a lot of medical grade treatments. I'm doing more chemical peels, things like that. And one of the things I kept running into, I treat acne and I do a lot of predominantly acne in my clinic. So my issue was I'd have a client come in and they'd say, okay, so I can't do a chemical peel today, I have a date next week, or I'm going to Mexico last minute, or I'm going to the lake, whatever it may be, and so I would just not be able to treat them. There wasn't really anything I could do for that client. Sure, I could do a hydrofacial, but you guys know when we're trying to treat acne, hydrofacials are amazing, but they're not going to cut it when we're really trying to get to the root cause of acne. So I really didn't have anything to treat them without that downtime, and that's kind of where the Aerolase came in. There's many reasons I brought it on, and I'll tell you all of those, but specifically for that, I'm able to literally do a client and they can go leave my office and go on a plane and go wherever they want to go, or they can go to the lake right after. There's no issues, no downtime, no problems. But not just acne, it treats everything. It's going to help with pigmentation. One of the biggest things that I was referring out for was broken capillaries, and I struggle with those as well. I have them all around my nose, and I would have to go pay and get treatments done, as well as send my patients out to the place I went to go get treatments done. And it was kind of a reoccurring theme in my office. And I was like, you know what, I'm at a place in my business where I want to be able to have the things that I can do to treat all my patients. And the Aerolase checked every single box and then some. Things that I didn't even know that I needed. I think that's the coolest part. Like bruises. I had a client with a hickey I was able to treat before her mom got to see it. Little college kids. Like, it does it all. And the best thing about it is it's not painful. I'm a baby, everything hurts me, and I can do this effortlessly, easily. It helps with scarring. I mean, there's so many ways to use it and enhance your treatments with it. So that's what I love about it, is it's so versatile, and you can use it with a chemical peel, you can use it with a hydrofacial, you can use it on its own, you can use it with microneedling. There are so many ways to add that on for the patient to help stimulate that collagen and elastin, help reduce the inflammation. And I love it because when I'm treating acne, it treats it 360 all the way around. So it's going to help regulate the sebaceous gland, right? Which is a big thing when it comes to acne. So helping regulate the speed of what your skin is proliferating those oil levels, helping reduce that inflammation, erythema, which is a huge component. And then number one is killing the P. acnes bacteria, right? So we're treating the skin inside and out, and you don't see any of that downtime. A lot of people love IPL. That was something I thought about bringing on to my practice, but ultimately didn't go with it because I have those patients that say, I did 6 or 7 IPLs, I didn't see results. The reason being, that's working on the top layer of your skin. The Aerolase is going way down deep, so you're actually going to get that long-term result. And the cool thing about it too is when we're treating deeper in the skin, we're actually addressing the root cause, not the residual fallout, right? A lot of lasers are just treating chemical peels. What we're doing as estheticians, we're just treating the aftermath, which is great. But then once that treatment's done, you know, the pigment comes back, or they start to see these issues reoccurring. So with the Aerolase, we're actually targeting the true issue of the skin, which is just so beautiful and wonderful. So that's with my Neo Elite. I also have the Era Elite, which is going to be amazing because it's working on the surface of the skin. So when you combine those two together, you're getting that 360 treatment. You're working at the deeper level, and then you're also getting that renewal of the skin on the top surface for fine lines and wrinkles, pigment, scarring, all of the above. I mean, I could talk about it till I'm blue in the face. I was scared to bring on a laser to my practice. I've been an esthetician now 7 years. I worked with lasers very early on when I worked for other people, and I always said, you know, I would never invest in a device because, you know, you buy one, there's something cooler, there's something newer, and it's kind of that like a car, right? Or like the iPhone. It wasn't until Aerolase, they've had the same technology, I don't know how many years, but for a very long time, and it's top class. And for you laser nerds that know things about lasers, I love that the handpiece is where the crystal is housed. So you're getting more effective energy going into the skin instead of having to go all the way through the tube, through the handpiece, and then into the skin. So there's truly just so many amazing things about it. And I made my money back, God, what was it, 4 months? I lost count.
She made it back very quickly and was able to purchase our other laser. So
very shortly after.
And I love Savanna's story. She talks a lot about, she researched. She thought she would never bring a laser into her practice. It just wasn't something for her. And when she researched Aerolase, she knew that that was the device she wanted to bring to her practice. And within 4 months, she also purchased an ablative laser, which was also something that you thought maybe you would never do.
No, ever.
And now she's using that all the time.
All the time.
And in her practice, she can move her device from room to room because, as you can see, it's really portable. So that's another positive thing, and
Definitely.
she has a pink laser.
I do. And I will tell you guys, a lot of companies throw free devices at me all day, every day. Maria, my assistant's like going through our emails of everyone trying to throw their device at me. Aerolase would not budge, okay? They would not give me this device for free. I asked for a little discount. They said no. And for me, it's not about getting a device for free. It's about truly believing in something and loving it. I was like, I would pay for 10 more, honestly, full price if I needed to, because it truly has changed my practice, our revenue, the ticket prices of clients, and they're willing to pay for it because they know it's so good. They know the price tag that comes with the laser. It's never going to be anything over, $300 or under $300. So they're really willing to spend and invest in it. And I think really just knowing that they can go do what they need to go do and not have to worry about the downtime is so beautiful. I mean, literally no downtime at all, and you see results so quickly. Like if I get a little pimple, I'll run into my Aerolase room, zap it, it's literally completely gone the next day and flat. So it makes a really big difference when you can add it on just as a spot treatment, if you just want to treat capillaries, if you're trying to treat dark spots, skin tags. I mean, anything and everything. It helps with scarring after a procedure. So if you have clients that are getting, blepharoplasties, or if they're getting rhinoplasties, if they had a C-section, if they're getting breast augmentations, all of those things you can treat with the Aerolase Neo Elite and even with the Era. So it's really versatile. There's 36 FDA indications and a lot of things you can do off-label with it too. So, I mean, the options are endless, the combinations are endless, and the best thing about it that I didn't even mention yet, it's safe for all Fitzpatricks, and that's something that's so important to me, to be inclusive. I live in Dallas. It's a melting pot. I see every single Fitzpatrick every single day. I don't have a predominantly certain type of clientele that I see. So for me, bringing on a device, if it's a chemical peel, if it's a laser, whatever it is, if I can't treat all 6 skin tones, all Fitzpatricks, I'm not interested, because I want to be an inclusive practice. It's 2024. You have to be able to treat everybody that walks into the door with whatever you're doing. So I never want to turn someone away and tell them they can't do it, or work with a device that isn't safe to use on all skin types and skin tones. Yes, and tan skin.
So we see a lot of times the laser industry shuts down in a practice from May to September, depending on where you live, but there's never a shutdown time for our laser.
Yeah.
You can use it all the time. If someone's tan, it's okay, it's safe to treat. So that's a big deal. That gives you a lot of extra months in the year that you don't have to not use your laser.
Exactly, or change a treatment, or send them home. And it's hard for me as a provider. I'm an empath, so if a client comes in and they're like, oh, I actually can't peel today, like 9 out of 10 times I'm like, we'll waive the fee today, like just go home, it's fine. But now I have something, like actually we have something else for you to do. It is more expensive, better results, and they don't have to worry about that downtime. So it truly is so versatile and easy to use with everything. And
I love how you can add it also to things like, hydrofacial, or things that maybe aren't a long-term changing the skin, but when you add the Neo, you're doing something good for that day, but you're also doing something that's going to take care of the skin long-term.
Exactly.
And really work on the health of the skin. And everybody's talking about the microbiome right now, and Aerolase Neo really works to get your skin healthy and
functioning the right way, properly. I mean, it does it all. It's changed my practice, it's changed my business, and I'm being very honest with you guys, I was terrified, I cried. I tested this device how many times? I made my poor rep come I think 8 or 9 different times to demo it. She's like, girl, are you gonna buy this or not? It was like a year and a half later.
And she was so nervous training, and I'm not kidding, literally, she picked it up and was a pro. Savanna is very knowledgeable. It's one thing to be popular, with social media or whatever, but when you really know what you're talking about and you are educated and you actually have great information, I always tell new med spas or new people in the industry, follow the Dallas esthetician, because she uses Aerolase, but she also gives really great information, things that on social media sometimes we don't get the best information, and if you're watching her channel or her page that you're getting some good information.
Thank you. Okay, so the Era
about the Era and what the Era does. So the Era is our 2940 erbium. So that works on the outside of the skin. Okay, so that's taking off the top layers of the skin. And Savanna can tell you how she finds this to be beneficial in her practice.
Yeah, so I love using this for pigmentation on the skin. I love also using it for really just giving that subtle smoothing look of the skin to help with any dull skin texture. Like if you have a client come in, they're like, I just feel blah, I need something, I need a fresh new face, that's what this is going to do for you. And I've done a CO2 laser, which I shouldn't have done, but I was young and I had acne and I didn't know any better, and I was told that was what's going to help me. It was before I was an esthetician, and I was absolutely traumatized from that experience. Like my face was oozy, it was really painful, it took a lot of time to recover. Like, I mean, I would say like a month to be like back to normal and be able to wear makeup. My patients are able to do this and go back to work in 7 to 8 days, depending on how deep I go. So it really doesn't have a lot of social downtime. I mean, you can go even lighter than that, which is the amazing thing. You're getting those results of a CO2 laser without that downtime, without that damage to the skin. And that's truly what our patients are looking for in this day and age. They don't want to be out that much. And it's not just work anymore, it's social media. People are on their pages, they're posting, they're going out, they're doing stuff. So it's really important to have something that's gonna give really good results, but not really cause a big issue in their schedule when they're trying to go to work or be a mom and go to school plays and soccer games and whatever it is. So it's been really beneficial for that, and just adding on as a spot treatment. Like if you have clients that have crow's feet, fine lines and wrinkles, boom, easy, just do that under eye area, that's all they need. Or you can go around the mouth for smoker lines. There's so many ways to optimize your time doing this, and it's so fast, and it's honestly so fun to do. It is the most satisfying treatment for me aesthetically, like watching it and seeing it. And I also love the smell of burning skin. I'm weird, like I'd buy a candle that smelled like that, because it's the smell of success. We all know that. So I really truly have seen such a big result and difference, and I was again scared with this one because it is a little bit more pricey for the patient too. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get someone to drop $1,500 on this treatment. And they do willingly. And then they said, and add my neck and chest while you're at it. And so it's made a really big difference to bring in that older clientele. When I started out, I mean, I was really attracting teenagers, college girls, you know, mid-20s, early 30s, but I was really missing that demographic that was 40s, 50s, and 60s because I didn't have anything for them. I was just doing, you know, microneedling, which is great, but I didn't have like a big heavy hitter laser to show me as an age management clinic. And then I brought this in, and all my clients that are younger were bringing their moms and their grandmas and everyone. So it really widened my clientele book and opened me up to way more patients and being able to treat more people effectively and correctly.
And when you do both of our devices together, the Neo followed by the Era, you're literally addressing every skin concern that you can possibly think of. Mm-hmm. So if someone comes to Savanna who really needs to start from scratch, if you do a reverse treatment, which is both of them together, it's like a clean slate.
Yep.
And it's a really wonderful treatment to begin their skin journey and get them a nice clean slate, get them on home care, and it really works so well that way.
And then a little secret, something that Katie and I both have been testing and working on is doing skin pin or any kind of microneedling device with the Era on top for acne scars. Oh my Lord, guys.
It's amazing. And no numbing. We didn't even talk about numbing.
No numbing.
We really don't have to numb the patient. Nope. The pain is minimal.
It's just a little heat, and especially like whenever you put like a cooling serum on after, like the heat dissipates. I've had clients be like, that's it? I'm like, yeah, that's it.
That's it. And the heat leaves the skin within an hour after treatment. It feels like a sunburn for a little bit, and then you're fine. Then you have that mild recovery for a couple days, but the result
is amazing.
It's life-changing for a lot of people.
There's a lot of people that say, like, gives you a new face in 7 days. This really does. Like, it really does. It'll take ages off of you, years off of you.
I mean, it truly takes years off of people. I've seen people, and I always say, and I don't know if you notice this, but if someone has a lot of damage, I feel like their result is so
much better.
Unbelievable because, you know, you took that top off. And they just look like a different person.
Yes.
And then someone who's maintaining their skin regularly, this is just helping them to continue to turn. Because after the age of 35, we're not turning our skin over all the time naturally. So this is doing that for you.
And my best friend, some of y'all might know Tyler. Yeah. So he went to Italy with me and my husband and got the worst pigment of his entire life while we were there. And Katie, you did him, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you did his, and you went really low because he was worried. He had like a concert to go to and he was really worried about it. Literally 5 days later, we'll have to show his picture. We should put it on this slide.
again.
Literally looked like he had a new face. Like, it was completely gone. All of the freckles, all of the pigment, all around his nose and right here. He's always the one that gets me to buy devices because he's my guinea pig.
He loves
gets such
Aerolase.
good results. Yeah. Oh my God. Every time he's like, can we go to the spa? Can you do the Era?
A funny post where he was like sneaking in the room.
Oh yeah. He's always just shows up at my front door of the spa like, hey, can you zap me? And I'm like,
and you're
sure.
like, what are you doing in there?
I'm like, help us pack orders and I'll do it for you.
But so this just talks a little bit about the treatment plan. So the treatment plan is always going to be adjusted to the actual patient. So if you have a 20-something, you're obviously not going to need to do as much as you might on a 50-something or a 60-something. So, you know, do you adjust your treatment?
100%. I mean, I have clients that will do just one Era. They'll do about 6 neos, 1 Era, or they'll do, 3 neos and then an Era, and then 3 neos and then an Era if they're not able to do them together price-wise. But I have one patient right now in her 60s, and we've done 3 Eras about 5 to 6 weeks apart. Her results are beautiful.
And you can do it 5 to 6 weeks apart with no problem. Even though you're ablating the skin, it's okay to do it that close, and it really makes a huge difference for an older client who really has a lot of catch-up to do with their skincare. Mm-hmm. This is like a quick catch-up.
And let's talk about turkey neck, because that's something I've seen, crepey skin on the neck. Oh my Lord.
Yeah, and it can make such a difference.
But honestly, doing it with the Neo, because it tightens. It's going to help tighten that skin in the deeper levels to really stimulate that collagen, and then refining what you see on the surface.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like my answer to everything is reverse.
Yeah.
Just do reverse, and that's both of our devices together, because you're doing everything. You're working on collagen, and you're also taking layers off the top of the skin, so everything is being worked on. So these were just some examples of different Savanna's patients and how well she can clear acne. You are like the acne guru.
Thank you. Well, this was actually a tricky patient before I got the Aerolase Neo Elite, because she just kept having these flare-ups of rosacea. We were doing all of the stuff I usually do for my patients that have papulopustular rosacea, but it just wasn't 100%. It wasn't getting where we needed to be. So after literally just 2 treatments, I mean, she's a different woman, and she's pregnant now, she's happy, just got married, and she never thought her skin could look this good, and it looks even better now than it does in this photo.
What it does with acne, and it's just unbelievable. You know, people think, oh, you have to go on Accutane or you have to take oral medications. The Neo works on acne, it works on the hypervascular, the inflammation, kills the bacteria, it does everything needed to be done to clear the acne. I've cleared so many patients, and it's such a rewarding thing. When you clear an acne patient who's been really struggling with acne, there's nothing like it.
I know, I say it's like the second best feeling to being a mom.
It really is. And when you look at the before and afters, you're just like so blown away, and they're just a happier person all around. So when you can make your patient that happy, it's a good feeling.
And it's a lifelong patient.
Yep. Some more acne and...
Yep, and that was 4 weeks apart, 1 treatment. And all we did that day was the Neo, and this was Neo with a BioRepeel.
And it works really well for the acne scarring also. So not only is it treating the active acne, but it's working well with what's left over after the acne's cleared. The erythema in the skin, some pitting in the skin. It's working on everything.
Yeah. Okay, this was one of my favorites. I mean, guys, it was such deep scarring. He was so insecure about it. And to be able to, you can see it's completely plumped up. It almost looks like we filled the holes, which we did with collagen. So it really has been such a big treatment for him. Doing skin pin with the Neo Elite has been so beneficial. So combination therapy, I mean, you're gonna get good results on its own, but when you add it with other things, it's just insane.
Yes, combination therapy it's so intelligent to do that. And sometimes people say, well, why do you always say that you have to combine your device with something? Well, it's not we have to, we choose to, because it really truly makes treatments better.
Yes.
And it's like ice cream is good, right? But if I could have whipped cream on it, I'll take it.
I love that analogy. And I am like the queen of making iconic duos. Like, I find either products or devices that are just like amazing on their own, but then when you add it with something else that's amazing, it's just beautiful. I mean, it really, really is.
You can eat ice cream by itself, but it's much better with
And this honestly doesn't add that much time to my treatments, you guys. Like, if I'm doing the Aerolase Neo with skin pin, so I will do the treatment first, it takes me 10, 15 minutes, numb them for about 25, and then I do my treatment for about 20. So right there's about an hour.
On top?
Right, yes, all of it.
Yep. It's really amazing. And then rosacea is another condition that a lot of people suffer with.
Yeah.
And you know what Neo can do with rosacea is unbelievable. I've treated people one time, and the next day they look like a different person.
I know. And this client specifically actually is going to aesthetic school now after working with me. She got really inspired by just seeing how much change that we can make.
And long-term patients are really what we want. If someone comes to you one time, what is that really doing for your practice? It's getting them to be a long-term, lifetime patient. And I know what's really important to you is consultations.
Yes.
The consultation and making the plan for the patient it's huge.
I agree, 100%. This is another one of my favorites. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yay.
And that beautiful Savanna.
All right, so if you guys are interested in getting a device, make sure you name drop me.
Thank you both so much.